What is going on, guys? Welcome to Greggles TV Daily, your source for daily tech news. Make sure you subscribe so you know what's going on in the world of tech. How is everyone doing? Hope you're having a fantastic day. We've got a couple of stories for you, a couple of questions, so let's go. Our first story of the day has to do with the processor that's going to be inside of the Google Pixel 8 and 8 Pro, and it is a fairly major jump in performance coming. Now, remember, the Tensor G3 processor that will be in the Pixel 8 and 8 Pro is very similar in terms, or it is basically, it's an Exynos processor customized for Google, but this one is going to be Exynos 2300, which is for Tensor, at least performance-wise, if we're talking raw numbers here, is a big jump up. Now, here's the information. Come from the Galaxy. I've seen this before, so he's not creating it. He's just copying somebody else. But ultimately, he had it written out so well, I thought I'd run with it. Tensor G3 is more efficient while also being the fastest Google processor yet, so you're going to get better battery life and better performance. The graphics are getting a massive upgrade with ray tracing, getting a 300% improvement, overall performance getting a 20% improvement, and double the compute units. G3 will be on par or faster than a Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1. That's amazing. So that's the same processor that's in the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 4, and it runs really, really well. I mean, the battery life isn't absolutely amazing, but it's good. It doesn't mean it might even have better battery life since it's coming from Google and they're running their own software and this and that. So we'll keep our eyes peeled on this, but it's too bad this processor is not coming in the Pixel Fold, but Tensor G2 is still a very, very good processor in terms of performance and things like that. Also, the thermals are going to be better on the Tensor G3 as well. So some things to keep in mind. Where's all my Galaxy S23, 23 Plus, and 23 Ultra fans? Because guess what? We've been talking about One UI 6, and we were a little bit early with what we heard earlier in the week. But this is what we're hearing now, is that the S23 series is expected to get the One UI 6 Android 14 update, the beta anyway, by mid-July, and the stable version will be out by October. So if you're waiting for some potential new features and potential slight redesign of One UI 6, then the S23 should be one of the first phones, if not the first phone, to get it. Thanks for watching, guys. Your question of the day is, what's a feature you want to see in One UI 6 that we don't have, or some kind of fix? Let me know in the comments down below. Without further ado, let's jump on our Q&A. First question from Yumi Momi. When speaking about Samsung's innovation and mentioning Apple or other brands as a comparison, can you specifically speak of the ongoing innovation from other brands? Pick as many as you would like. That way you would like to question if Samsung is stale with their products. Also, what small changes are you speaking of Samsung implementing as an improvement that you feel many would be happy with based on previous recommendations prior to their current products? Although you mentioned Samsung listening to their customers, if Samsung is the #1 brand globally, and if not, then who is and why? That's a lot of questions in there. I just basically answer what kind of innovations I'd like to see with Samsung. Well, new form factors coming out. With even their traditional slab phones, I'd love to see, this isn't a Samsung phone, but I'd love to see a display on the back so I can see myself when I'm taking and using these back cameras. I'd like to see faster charging, them using the same charging forever on their phones. Those are just a couple of things. Those are minor things that they could do, like much faster charging. I'm talking like get up there to 80 watt. Put bigger batteries if it helps with battery life overall, but they've done a good job with some of the optimizations with the processor in there and the battery life, especially with the S23 phones. The other brands, I think the Chinese brands are really taking the initiative to kind of pushing things to that next step with new hinges in their folding phones and much faster charging throughout their line of phones. The cameras are getting bigger sensors, and Samsung's kind of sticking with the same sensors over and over. It's really the Chinese brands that are really pushing the envelope with some of the newer technologies. Now, I'm not saying, and also when you think back to Samsung products back in the day, they were like, had the best of the best, and they had this and that and this new feature. And I know cell phones are kind of evening out with what they can do and what they want to do in terms of where they are right now. It's a very mature product. But there's still innovation to be left. I'm not saying they're not going to innovate at all, especially when rolling and slidable displays become more out there in the open. But those are a couple of the things that I think that Samsung could definitely improve on in terms of bringing more innovation to the product line and making it seem a little bit more exciting. Last question, Jack Matthews actually. If you're coming from a Z Fold 3, would you upgrade to the Pixel Fold or wait and see the Fold 5? The Crease said it's going to be better than the Fold 5 for most other aspects. Lean towards Pixel Fold having the edge if you're not worried about the big bezels. Yeah, I think the more exciting of those is the Pixel Fold. I think the Fold 5 is really going to be, I've said this a couple times, just better performance and better battery life, which are not slouches. I mean, I think we're going to get some nice battery life on the Fold 5, especially to some of the other folding phones on the market, especially last generation's folding phones. But otherwise, the small display on the Fold 5, I hate that on the outside. The cameras will be good, but I mean, they're not going to be blow you away good. So I don't know, I'd say try out the Pixel Fold. If you like it, keep it. If you don't, send it back and wait for the Fold 5. Thanks so much, guys. Have a great day. If you have a question, leave it in the comments down below with the hashtag question. We'll see you down the road. Peace.